And we're back for another episode. In this episode I'm going to be doing part 4 of the 2.3 story mode, and we're carrying on from where we left off. So I'm here in the Rising Stones and I need to talk to Tataru. So hello from Mithrie. So let's see what Tataru has to say. The quest is called Guardian of Eorzea. So Tataru would have you indulge the attention of your young admirers. You've been an immeasurable help as always, Mithrie, but could you perhaps spare a little more of your time? To put the matter simply, the Doman children have been chattering about you endlessly. It would mean the world to them to see their hero again. Okay, let's talk to the children. Look, it's Miss Mithrie. She's back from her adventures. We heard you were off fighting primals and that they are some of the strongest enemies you could ever face. I wish I could have seen you in battle. Anyway, we all want to be heroes too, so we finally formed a very own Doman Adventurers Guild to protect all the Domans. Oh, do you think you could train us today, Miss Mithrie? Maybe you could show us how you fought the primals. What's all this commotion then? Mr. Boulder, Mrs. Coltenant, did you know that Miss Mithrie is back? So it would seem. Welcome home, Mithrie. My companion and I but recently become full members of the Scions, and I believe proper introductions have yet to be made. I am known as Hooray Boulder, and this bookish fellow is Coltenant. Though we remain largely unproven as adventurers, we have taken it upon ourselves to instruct the Doman younglings in the art of combat. Ugh, I told you, Mr. Boulder, we are not younglings anymore, we are adventurers. And we are just asking Miss Mithrie if she could give us some special training. I think we're ready to hunt monsters alongside her, don't you? Well, you've certainly been diligent with your drills, but I'm afraid the Friends of Modona are still ever so slightly too dangerous for you. I have a counter-proposal. What if I were to cross to swords with Mithrie? A demonstration of skill at arms, if you will. Hooray, if I don't know you better, and I do, I'd say you were merely seeking to test yourself against a legend. Well, mayhaps I am, but what matters the motive when the children stand to learn much from the lesson? What you say, Mithrie, would you consent to spar with me? Hooray, we're to have a tournament. Come on everyone, we must prepare our gear for an outing. Do try not to disappoint then. Have faith, Coltenant. I shall summon every last ounce of my strength to make of this a worthy contest. The fields to the east of town should prove suitable for our purpose. I very much look forward to our bout. Okay, so let's go east of Revenant's Toll. Let's see how far. Yeah, not far at all, just here. There we go. The glowing means it's a fight. So it was good of you to agree to this, Mithrie. I trust you're ready to begin. Okay, so it says duty calls, commence battle for Guardian of Eorzea. If your level is above 50, it will be synced. That's obviously a future-proof limitation. Very well, let us not keep the younglings waiting any longer. Hooray, are you certain you wish to fight her alone? That is Mithrie you face. What better way to test my mettle? Pray allow me to attempt the first round unaided. After all, 'tis a hero's legend that led me to join the Scions to begin with. Without Mithrie to inspire my efforts, I would not be half the warrior I am today. Your point is well made, but remember, this is for the children's sake as well as your own. Should it appear the contest will end too swiftly, I shall add spells to your blade work. Hello? You haven't begun yet, have you? Yida, what? Who are all these people? When I heard about your sparring match, I told everyone I could find, though you could use a crowd to cheer you on. Yes, there are still more to come. When I mentioned Mithrie's name, the reaction was quite enthusiastic. Why, my own popularity seems but a sickly shade in comparison. You'd best claim victory, bringer of light. Your burgeoning reputation is at stake. Well, our teacher won't be beaten so easily. He's a master swordsman. You can win, Mr. Boulder. We shall soon see. On your guard. I don't know what he's going to do, so I'm just going to keep running. Okay. Is it cheap me doing it this way? Maybe. You'll probably just stand there, take the hits. Okay. Whatever. You have bested me. I yield. Well, duh. It did like 300 damage to me. That was incredible. She beat them both at the same time. We knew you couldn't lose, Mithrie. None can defeat the Guardian of Eorzea. Now I see why they send you to deal with primals. I've got much to do if I'm ever to attempt the same. Impressive as always, Mithrie. 'Tis ever a pleasure to witness the spectacle of your martial prowess. And judging by the smiles on these many faces, they too appreciate the hard-won strength that keeps the perils of the realm at bay. Guardian of Eorzea, yes, that is the most fitting title. Do you recall when we first met? It was the memorial service for the Battle of Cartano. At the time I was attempting to understand this land of Eorzea. I sought to grasp reason why grandfather willingly sacrificed himself to protect it. I shall speak plainly. My initial impression were less than favourable. Dire problems abound, and yet the effort I saw expended towards their solution was haphazard and half-hearted. I thought Eorzeans a foolish and childish people. Considering the shambles their home was in, I would not have been surprised if some had chosen to swear allegiance to Gaius and the order he proposed to enforce. The legatus single-minded military invasion precluded any such switching of loyalties, of course. Were it not for the desire to continue grandfather's legacy, I would have abandoned the realm to its fate long ago. The threats were too many, the nations too self-involved and unstable. "'Twas you who convinced me the salvation of Eorzea was possible. 'Twas you who taught me, through countless acts of bravery, that what my grandsire sought to preserve was not the land, nor its history, not a single nation. 'Twas the people, these wonderful, oft infuriating, stubborn people that suffer blow after terrible blow, only to drag themselves back to their feet to face another day. Though he never put such feelings into words, I believe grandfather's admiration for this indistinguishable courage grew into a fervent wish, a wish to aid Eorzea and its inhabitants in charting a course for the future. A wish that has now become my own. I too will endeavour to take up the mantle of Guardian of Eorzea and champion these people who toil towards a better world. Our course, however, is not a simple one. The troubles that might plague us are of a scale that cannot be solved by the scions of the Seventh Dawn alone. No, what is needed to tackle the root of the primal threat and effectively counter the schemes of the Scions is a new, expanded organization that operates beyond the limitations of nations and borders. If you would aid me in building such an organization, then pray let us continue this discussion back within the walls of the Rising Stones. I'd have to remind you about the Crystal Tower. Short run to get back. Okay. Here is Alpha Node. So, thank you for coming, Mithrie. The world shifts and alters, and we, my friend, must ever be one step ahead of the chaos. What I propose is the formation of a new organization, a group that shall pave the way for a truly united Eorzea. So I'll just take the dexterity one because I'm a bard. So the next quest is called Recruiting the Realm. So Alphanode wishes to request your assistance for his new endeavor. Pray forgive me if I tread over old ground, but I would first speak to the grand plan. Since the advent of the 7th Astral Era, the leaders of the Free Nations have been deliberating over an accord that seeks to bring the disparate forces of Eorzea together in a single entity. A realm-wide crown company, if you will. The military might of such an institution would be drawn from every corner of the land and directed against the threats that no single nation could hope to overcome alone. Yet, while the purpose of this hypothetical organization is undisputed, the logistics of its formation have become the source of endless debate. And the longer these discussions continue, the more I sense the imperious towards unification draining away. Thus, have I been campaigning for the creation of what might be considered a trial company. It will be on such a much smaller scale than what we hope to eventually achieve, but capable of the same manner of unrestricted operation accorded to the Scions. It is my hope that the successful utilization of such a force will lend momentum to the lagging deliberations. Also, being a primarily military outfit, I mean to assuage fears of its misuse by placing the fledgling organization under the authority of the antecedent. The Scions work tirelessly to protect Eorzea and its people. But as you yourself have witnessed with the refugee revolt, there are limitations to what even we can achieve. With this new company under the Scions command, however, we will be capable of responding to a wider range of difficulties without straining our resources or overtaxing our formidable talents. The goal of my proposed organization and that of the Scions are ultimately identical, a point conceded by all concerned. But before I can move forward with establishing the precursor to the true border-spanning Grand Company, it is yet necessary that I visit the Free Leaders and gain their official approval. A tiresome and time-consuming task, which is why I would ask that you accompany me on the journey and attend to the business of recruiting our inaugural members, while I am otherwise engaged with bureaucratic formalities. Thank you. 'Tis reassuring indeed to know that the Bringer of Light and her discerning eye will be selecting our future allies. Our first destination will be Limsa Lominsa. Let us rendezvous at Bulwark Hall. Okay, so let's go to Limsa. Oh, friends here, friends there, friends everywhere. Here is Alphanode. So, there you are. I am ready to ascend to the bridge and speak with Admiral Blow Hiswin. While the Admiral and I are finalizing Mithrie boundaries and signing parchments, I would have you begin the recruitment process in earnest. I have of course endeavoured to spread the word of our organisation through various channels, but I believe a personal approach will reach many who may otherwise remain ignorant of the opportunity. As for the potential members, 'tis of no matter should they already be pledged to another institution, only that they are willing to lend their strength when the situation demands it, and you needn't range into the countryside. The upper decks alone are populated with sufficient candidates to suit our purpose. Once you have satisfied with your recruiting efforts, meet me at the airship ticket counter that we might prepare for the next leg of our journey. Okay, so we're going to go to the upper decks and we're going to find 5 people. So it's just like the indication is here or here. I don't know if these people are supposed to be marked or not. Okay, there's one. So, who in the bloody hells do you think you're talking to, Drylander? I'm a pirate, not some sodding knight in shining plate. If you're looking for a self-righteous fop, try knocking on that dandy Car Valan's door. Just checking these places to see if there's anyone. Let's check in the Blacksmith Guild. So, a precursor to a united Eorzean Grand Company? While I do admire the scope of your ambition, my responsibilities here at Naldic and Valmeles keep me close to the forge. I have not the time to be trapezing hither and yon across the realm. Should you require my skills as an armourer, however, I might be willing to accept some special commissions. Okay, let's now go down here. I guess people are busy enough, sort of thing, rather than having to serve a grand company and another grand company and do their own jobs and whatever. Okay, here is Ryol. So, well, if it ain't Mithrie, I'd not forget adventuring brave enough or daft enough to seek the shortcut into Titan's bedchamber. You're a member of Ryle, don't you? Formerly of the Company of Heroes, Free Whistles at Bronze Lake. Aye, it ain't often I drag me arse out of Limsa for a drink, but I'm right glad I did. How fare you these days? You're looking to put together a new crew? A top tier work? Sounds like a right lark, it does. Alright lass, count me in. The heroes may have gone their separate ways, but I ain't ready to climb into me grave just yet. Okay, so that's 3. So now we're going to go to the Marauders Guild to find a couple more. I think I'll use the Aephorite Crystal to just teleport there quicker. That's the good thing about MMOs, is that they're always evolving, they're always adding new content, new stories, new things to look at and see. So you should not think of paying a monthly fee as a bad thing, because the game is ever expanding. Effectively, that's what you're paying for month after month. So, Master Alphino's new organization. Yes, I had heard the formation of the trial company was in the offing. 'Tis with regret, however, that I must decline your invitation. As commander of the Yellow Jackets, the protection of Limsa Lominsa must needs receive my full attention. Okay, let's see if there's anyone down here. If not, I'll head to the Culinarian Guild. Nope, no one here. So there should be the 5th one in this area. There we go. So, an organization with the freedom to operate with territorial impunity. I must say your proposal intrigues me, but the Krakens well know that there is time to act and time to watch, and I'm afraid this trial company of yours falls into the latter category. Okay, so now we need to go to the airship landing. So we got 1 out of 5 from Limsa. It's not looking good, is it? I just need to go to the lift attendant, then go up to the airship. Here he is. So, Mithrie, your recruiting went well, I trust. I am curious as to how my proposal was received by the rough and ready folk of Limsa Lominsa. Ah, a member of the legendary company of heroes indicated interest. Astonishing. I knew enlisting your aid was the right choice. Few could boast the acquaintance of such an elusive character. I too was successful in my task. The Admiral consented to sign all the documents requiring her approval. I can only hope that my visit with the Elder Seedseer proceeds smoothly. Pray continue on to Gridania at your own pace. I shall await your arrival at Nafika's altar. Okay, so we need to go to Nafika's altar, which is in Old Gridania right here. So I'm just going to return and then use the Aephorite to teleport to the Conjurer's Guild. Here he is. So, my audience with the Elder Seedseer is due to commence momentarily. I would be grateful if you would once more see the task of recruitment here in Gridania. After you deem the well of potential candidates has run dry, let us rendezvous at the airship ticket counter as before. Let's see. I'll teleport to the amphitheater. Okay, here's one. So, oh gods, can it be you? By what fickle fortune must the first face I see upon my release be yours? Aye, could it be that you don't remember me? It is I, Laurentus, the man whose crimes you exposed. I was a whaler and a regular patron at Buscaron's. Okay. Well, of course you do. I was beginning to wonder if Garl had changed me more than I realized. Not that I have any particular wish to be recognized after my shameful conduct. The less said of my past, the better, I suppose. And what of you, adventurer? What business brings you to this part of Gridania? Recruiting, eh? What is your policy on reformed convicts? As Matt has said, the Wood Whalers will have naught more to do with me. This may sound just a second chance I was looking for. Revenant's Hold, you say? I shall leave at once. You shall not regret this, I promise you. I am a changed man. Okay, so next. I think I'll teleport actually to the Lancers Guild. Save myself a bit of running. Tis not often a guild officer such as myself gets recruited, and this company of yours certainly sounds to have some promise, but its duties appear less than focused. I must refuse your invitation until such time as your organization is more organized. That's fair enough. So, you would offer this old man a place in your company of champions? I am both puzzled and honoured by your invitation. Pray forgive me, young mistress, but I cannot accept. I have sworn to abide here for whatever scant years remain to me, and bear responsibility for the evils my lady has wrought upon this land. Obviously, talking about Hawk Manor, because that's who he's involved with story-wise. There we go, number 4. So, Isildur, you must call it a day. Let us return to the guild and rest your tormented back that gives up on you for good. I'm terribly sorry, we were just... Oh, Mithrie, isn't it? It has been some time since our paths crossed in Sestasha. Why, you were barely more than a novice adventurer then, but look how far you've come. Mother Mion tells me 'twas you who felled the fearsome Black Wolf. And now you seek stout-hearted souls to fill the ranks of a new order? Well, your cause is undoubtedly just, and my old companion here would be much relieved to see me in good hands. Yes, I'll do it. This is the very thing I've spent my entire adventuring career working towards. I shall join your company just as soon as I've seen Isildur safely home. Cool. So, somewhat successful. More positive than Limsa, at least. So I'm just going to teleport back to the Aephorite Plaza and then run to the airship landing. There he is. So, what news, Mithrie? For my part, the elder Seerseer was most amenable to our requirements. A former woodwhaler and a seasoned adventurer, our company will not lack for variety, that is certain. An interesting harvest indeed. Shall we strike into Ul'dah whilst the iron is hot? Let us meet at the Royal Promenade and endeavour to conclude our remaining business. Our journey draws to a close. Okay, let's go to Ul'dah. One thing I've done is I've actually disabled cutscenes that I've seen before, which means that you don't see like the airship taking off and going on again. Okay, we need to go here. So, Ul'dah, the gilded city where one's fortune defines one's worth. I hope some manner of fortune is with us, and with this final leg proves as successful as the previous two. Might I suggest descending to the lower level before beginning your recruitment efforts? I do not think the Sultanate will take kindly to us poaching from her personal guard. Let us meet back here at the promenade when our respective tasks are complete. Good hunting, Mithrie. Okay, so I need to go to the steps of fall down below, so let's go. Whee. So he did say only check on the bottom floor so that you don't have to waste time looking at the upper floor. So, wait, you're the lady who came to Little Alamigo looking for that masked devil. Who knows what might have happened if you hadn't? I'd probably be dead, and a whole lot more of my friends besides. We were such fools. Anyway, that disaster really got me to thinking about our homeland and about the outsider who saved us from ourselves. I realized how easily I'd been manipulated, and vowed to make myself a more worldly man, so here I am. A new company of champions, and you say it will take me to all corners of the realm? That sounds exactly like the kind of opportunity I need. And don't worry, I'm not the same stripling you met at Little Alamigo. I've prepared myself to fight the evil I now know is out there. Okay, so that's one. Wonder what quest I can't accept from him. So, a company that looks to cure the ills of the realm entire? Listen friend, I can scarce bear the complaints of the next stall over, let alone the conundrums of a neighbouring nation. That means no. Did I go the right way? Oh, I'm back here already. So, have you come to tell me the news, soldier? Well, I've already heard it. Seems the would-be saver of Ul'dah's refugees went and got himself killed, and not by your hand. He was just as much a pawn as the hapless cast-offs he sought to deceive. That's not why you're here? You'd be surprised what rumours drift down to Pearl Lane. I know of this glorious new company of yours, and just how far I go to avoid getting involved with it. Whispers on the street say your organisation is funded by a corrupt coin, my syndicate money. If you think you're recruiting for a just cause, then you're a bigger fool than I took you for. Okay, so he's obviously just upset about the previous devious dealings that caused the riot at the beginning of the story. Okay, here's Yellow Moon. So, I'm sorry, if you wish to recruit me, is this some new fashion manner of propositioning a lady? Well, I'm afraid you're wasting your time. This lady is already spoken for. Good day to you, miss. So you notice that some players have got like a little leaf next to their name. That's actually a new status added in patch 2.3 for new players, is to show that they're new and maybe they need help. Okay. Oh, what a happy coincidence. Do you remember me per chance? I am Orsen of the Church of Saint Adama Lamdamma. Thank you again for your timely rescue. And I must also thank you for preventing the fraudulent priest from preying on dry bones less fortunate. A most upsetting business. Are you here with your companion? Thancred, wasn't it? It is new companions you seek then? Your proposed organisation sounds a powerful force for good, but my place is at the church with the children. Nevertheless, I wish you well in your undertaking. Okay, so let's just go back to the Royal Promenade. So on average, the story modes for 2.1 and 2.2 were 4 hours, and looking at this, given that this is part 4, it's looking like this will be the same. So, how fared you, Mithrie? What hidden gems did the streets of Uldar offer up to your unrelenting gaze? A single Alamegan youth? Well, you've certainly given us an admirable start, even if our ranks are yet somewhat thin. In these troubled years following the calamity, talk of Eorzea's salvation must be seen akin to grasping at clouds. But there are those who have risen to the challenge nonetheless, and the hope that inspires these people was born in no small part from the victories you yourself have won. Thank you, Mithrie. I will not squander the precious gift you have placed into my keeping. These recruits will become the foundation of a new beginning. So, and yes, we are free to begin. As you have no doubt surmised, the Sultanate also graced my trial company with her blessings. Our first wave of recruitment is over, the documents signed and the finances secure. There is naught to prevent me from taking the next step. You are concerned by the Syndicate's involvement, as was I. Thus was the origin of every coin of their contribution carefully scrutinized and recorded. This organization will not be built on corruption. Naturally, I would prefer not to rely upon outside sources at all, but even my family's substantial coffers could not sustain a venture of this magnitude. As for the rumours and doubt surrounding this enterprise, well, such things shall plague us until the company has had a chance to prove its worth. It will not be an easy process, but we will earn people's trust one success at a time. Speaking of time, we should waste no more of it. Let us return to the Rising Stones and lay the first stone for a united Eorzea.
Tell me, General, what think you of Alfino's bold endeavor?
I think it is more than bold, Your Grace. His organization would pave the way for a united Eorzea. Well do I understand his impatience. Since facing the common threat of the Ultima weapon, our nations have seemed farther apart, not closer together. Considering the many problems we face, should we not be glad that someone else is taking the initiative?
We have all pledged our cooperation, yet the grumbling continues behind closed doors. Ul'dah is not alone in her duplicity. I myself have doubts as to the good this organization will achieve. With the inclusion of the finest soldiers of the 3 grand companies, it promises to be a fearsome military body. But whom will it serve? Even under the watchful gaze of the Scions, it is not unthinkable that such a force could perpetrate a great wrong. Does it not concern you that a significant proportion of its financial backing came from the coffers of the Syndicate? That those unprincipled worms might forge this extraordinary gathering of warriors into a private army?
I have trust in the Scions, Your Grace. They have spared us no end of trouble at the hands of the Primals. If they seek reinforcements, I deem it unwise to deny them. As for their finances, full many gave generously. And though our nobles proffered a sizable sum, their coin did not spill from the pockets of Lolorito and his cronies. And what of the presence of our stalwart adventurer friend in this endeavor? I doubt the Warrior of Light would betray our cause.
Yes, there is that, I suppose. Yet I have known people to change. Whether we will or no, the events of the age hurl us this way and that, like a dust devil skipping across the sands. Cannot be done about Telechi?
I have explored all avenues available to us, Your Grace. But as Ul'dah law now stands, we lack the evidence to convict him of any crime. To arrest him on spurious grounds would only play into his hands.
He has all but committed treason, and yet we can do nothing? Then what good our government? What worth the royal house? How deplorable this mockery of justice!
Aww.
Have faith, Your Grace. It is not over.
Cool, so let's go back now to Revenant's Toll. So that is not a journey I soon wish to repeat. But I cannot pause to rest. The culmination of all our effort is at hand. I must see the preparations for the inaugural ceremony. Thank you for allowing me to monopolize your services, Mithrie. I am certain the antecedent will be relieved to see you free for our duties. Or other duties, I should say. So the next quest is called Heretical Harassment. Mithrie appears eager to welcome you back to Revenant's Toll. So greetings, Mithrie. Alphinaud tells me all is in place to begin his trial company. The Scions shall certainly be grateful to have the support of such an organization. The inaugural ceremony is set to take place here at the Rising Stones. Tataru is cooperating with Alphinaud to see all is in readiness. So I'm afraid the recruits themselves have been left to their own devices for the time being. Quite a number of new faces have arrived in Revenant's Toll of late, and I wonder if Slathburn might not find himself overwhelmed. Would you speak with him and see if there's aught he requires? Okay, so back to Slathburn again. What can I do for you, Mithrie? I thought you'd have your hands full helping out with this new arms of the Scions. I barely noticed your recruits arrive. It was barely a trickle compared to the flood of treasure hunters we have passed through here every day. While I appreciate your offer of aid, 'tis more your burden that concerns me. I'm told this trial company will answer directly to the antecedent, so I trust that means less work for you in the long run. Slathborn, the shipment, we couldn't... God's woman, what befell? We were bringing a shipment to Revenant's Toll, provisions earmarked for the frontier effort. But just as we sought to cross over into Mordona, we were set upon by brigands. I believe they may have been heretics. There were many. They too. We only escaped with our lives by abandoning the supplies. Please pray forgive us. There is naught to forgive. Provisions can be replaced, but smart soldiers are hard to find. Take your rest, and I'll have someone along to tend to those wounds. What to do? If heretics are involved, then this is like to be more than a case of simple thievery. Ishgard will need to be informed. Whence did those supplies originate? House Fawntemps. We collected the provisions from Camp Dragonhead proper. Understood. I shall see that they are apprised of this development. Mithrie, were you not on good terms with the knights of the House Fawntemps? I will be sending them a missive immediately, of course, but I would also have you travel and offer your considerable talents. Yes, I realise I contradict my earlier hopes to lighten your load, but I need someone who can help bring this incident into a satisfactory conclusion. Our favourable relations with Ishgard are far too important to risk half measures. Thank you for your understanding. I am certain Lord Harshifant will be glad of your assistance. Cool, so let's go to Camp Dragonhead. Definitely teleporting there, it's quite a long run. The game can get a bit jittery after patches sometimes, it's a bit weird. Well, it's been a while. Well, if it isn't my fine friend Mithrie Menethil, would you care for a plate of roast caracal, some mulled wine? No, I see you have not come into my hall merely to escape the biting cold. I was in fact on the verge of opening an urgent missive from Revenant's Toll, and I suspect the timing of your arrival is no coincidence. Okay. So now the next quest is called When the Cold Sets In. The Lord Heretical awaits confirmation of the reason for your visit to Camp Dragonhead.
The incident with the new frontier hands? No, you need not elaborate. I have been following their progress with no small amount of interest. Brave men and women all. They do our nation a great service. The existence of a fortified outpost in Mordona will do much to dissuade the Empire from trespassing on Curthan soil. Right glad am I that you have chosen to lend your support to this endeavor. Never let it be said that House Forton does not acknowledge the efforts of her allies, or her debts. 'Twas in the spirit of gratitude that I arranged for sundry supplies to be delivered to Revenant's Toll. That the shipment should chance to be waylaid by heretics is poor fortune indeed. Poor fortune, I say, yet not without precedent. If you would know the truth of it, these incorrigible villains grow more organized with each passing day. This new unity of purpose we attribute to their leader, the Lady Iceheart. But though I have devoted significant resources to the task of identifying this woman, we have yet to learn so much as her birth name.
Shiva.
What we do know is that the heretics speak of Iceheart in reverent tones, and would gladly embrace death rather than betray her. Such loyalty is rare indeed, and I fear to imagine what so committed a collective might achieve.
I might be wrong in that, I'm just guessing.
The Britons have not yet been so brazen as to risk direct confrontation here in Dragonhead. Some few of their number have, however, been sighted not far to the west of here, and with ever-increasing regularity. A visit to Whitebrim Front may bring you the answers you seek. Will you brave the snows, knowing what implacable foes may lie in wait? Halone's blessings be upon you! Though I take no pride in the admission, many of mine own countrymen are not so well suited as you adventurers to dealing with such foes. Were they dragons, it might be otherwise. But truly, I could not wish for a finer ally. You have done much for my house in the past, and I have no doubt but that I shall have cause to celebrate your deeds again ere long. Should you learn aught of value, pray return to me forthwith. A warm hearth and a warmer welcome shall be waiting for you.
It's like, oh, I am so posh that I eat swans for lunch. Okay, so where are we headed? We are headed to Whitebrim Front, as he said. So, we're almost done with the 2.3 story. According to the patch notes, there's only one more quest after this one. And we'll get to see whatever cliffhanger there is at the end of this. Not run into any dangerous mobs just yet, any notorious monsters. I guess we'll see, like when we want to do the weekly one, what it looks like. Okay, off we go. So, Mithrie, is it aught you would ask of me? Pray speak plainly, as I am a man of action, and need no honeyed words. On the trail of a band of thieving heretics, you say? By the fury, but you do seem destined to cross paths with those villains. I must confess then, it's a sad truth that the wilds hereabouts have indeed grown thick with their number. They strike swiftly without warning and are canny enough to evade our most able trackers. But 'tis not merely their newfound organization that confounds us. The heretics themselves seem somehow changed. I know not what manner of influence this Ihart wields, but the men we face seem utterly lost in the grip of righteous fervor. 'Tis an unsettling and unnatural zeal. Mayhap you would care to question one of their recent victims. As fate would have it, your arrival comes moments after a trader was waylaid on the road. A patrol found the unfortunate fellow lying senseless in the snow, carried to our infirmary. Assuming he has regained the use of his full faculties, the merchant might recall some small detail that could aid you in your task. Okay, let's see where this person is. Okay, here he is. So, tell you what happened? Why, yes, of course, I am quite recovered enough for that. Anything to help catch those cowardly Blackhearts. I was travelling my usual route to Whitebrim Front when a sudden blow sent me reeling. The next thing I knew, I was on the ground, and several heretics were rifling through my cargo. Arms, armour, crystals, they were taking everything. 'Twas then one of them noticed my blurry gaze and stalked over to better acquaint my head with his mace. Before darkness claimed me, however, I distinctly heard the words, "Return to Snowcloak." I dare say that this is where they were hurling my goods, but you'll not catch me rushing off in pursuit. They tell me 'twas a miracle I survived at all, and I'll not trust my thick skull to save me a second time. Okay, so we need to go towards the behemoth's lair. Oh, let's see what twist there is. I think a lot of people did skip through all of this story just purely to get straight to the end so they could do Ramu Extreme. So when I mentioned some of this story to those players, they might be very surprised that they actually missed it. So yeah, I take my time, absorb the story. This patch will be the current patch for probably at least the next 3 months, so there's no need to rush it in my opinion, because it's like 4 hours long, it's not a big deal. Let's get these heretics. lag or what. Cool. So, Gar, draw your weapon, fool. Wait, I recognize you, adventurer. You are seeking heretics? Then we share a common purpose. We were on patrol when we chanced across one of their raiding parties, and then pursued them here. By rights, we should have had them cornered in this ravine, and yet they are gone, vanished, like icy raves. So, you glimpsed a woman atop of the cliff. Could it be Iceheart herself come to sneer at our folly? And to where did she disappear? The heretics must have discovered a passage through the frozen wall, some hidden tunnel that escaped our notice. We have not the men to risk further investigation. 'Twould be best were to return to Whiteburn Farm and lay our suspicion before Lord Drillmont. Okay. So there's obviously something up here, but I guess we'll come back to that. I'm assuming he's going to just send me back here again. And maybe up there is where we will get to talk to Shiva at some point. So, almost there. And up we go. Round and round and round and round. So, Mithrie, it appears I owe you my thanks once again. The surviving knights spared no detail in their report. The men you found out near Snowcloak were some of my finest. That they should be bested so handily, I fear I have woefully underestimated the threat these heretics pose. While I understand you might bark at the notion, I must ask you to put aside your mission and consider the stolen provisions lost to us for now. 'Twould be ill-advised to blunder unprepared into what may well be the very lair of our enemy. Pray return to Dragonhead and inform Lord Hirchfon of your discoveries. He will wish to plan contingencies of his own. As for Iceheart and her fanatics, the freezing heights of Snowcloak will not shield them from our justice for long. And just teleport straight back to Dragonhead. And talk to Mr. Posh.
Your return is most timely. Of their own accord, my thoughts had turned to your task and the progress thereof. I confess my imaginings tended toward the grim and bloody. But you are here now, and I suspect such frivolous wonderings do little justice to the reality of your travails. Tell me, what did you learn of Iceheart? Indeed, and this transpired at Snowcloak? Of all the highlands, that towering wall has borne the worst of the region's brutal shift in climate. So inhospitable has Snowcloak become that we have still to survey the area in its entirety. Could its frozen heights conceal the heretics' hideaway? Mayhap a more robust reconnaissance effort is in order. Putting such considerations aside for the moment, we still know far too little of this Iceheart. That she is capable of commanding such a band of fanatics bespeaks natural authority, and no small measure of charisma. As much as I would like to fathom this mystery with you, the situation has grown beyond my personal purview. I am bound by duty to inform the Temple Knights and request that they bring this matter to its conclusion. Giving the glowing reports the new commander has garnered thus far, I am certain that they can be relied upon to take appropriate action. Though Iceheart's true identity yet eludes us, you have provided us with a point from which to begin. Sometimes it takes but a single stone to prompt an avalanche. On the matter of the stolen provisions, I have already made arrangements for a second shipment to be sent to Revenant's Toll. I could not well allow such an honorable venture to be undermined by one miserable setback.
Okay, so let's talk to Southbourne again. So, Mithrie, 'tis good to see you return to the Toll. How fared you in the frozen wastes of Corfus? House for attempts is to send us a second shipment. I must send thanks to Lord Harshaphon for his continued generosity. Yet even as our town grows in prosperity, I fear it will attract ever greater numbers of those who would do us harm in the name of greed or power. All of us, Alphino's new recruits included, must remain vigilant against such threats. Okay, so let's complete that. And here we go, Brave New Companions, which is the last quest of patch 2.3 story mode. So Southbourne has news on the progress of the inaugural ceremony. So while you were away in Corfus, preparations for the inaugural ceremony were all but completed, although Tataru does yet seem somewhat frustrated, or flustered. I've taken enough of your time. Why don't you head into Rising Stones and see if your frantic receptionist could do with a hand? Okay, let's go. So these parchments need to be sorted, and these documents, why are they even here? Oh, I am sorely tempted to file the lot on the waste paper basket. Mithrie, you startled me. You wish to lend a hand? Splendid. Would you be a dear and hand those uniforms to the new recruits? They've scattered about Revenant's Toll, and I haven't the time to track them all down. The recruits know to don their garb immediately and assemble in the Rising Stones. You'll want to report directly back to Alphanode if you don't wish to miss the ceremony. I wonder if the Scions will ever have matching uniforms. A well-funded organisation is a well-dressed organisation, I suppose. So we need to find the 8 recruits around Revenant's Toll. here's one. So, those who believe this company will see no riches or short-sighted fools. The giving of oneself is an investment in the future. Thus, I did sign my name to the cause. Let's hand over the uniform. It says, a deep blue uniform crafted specifically for Alphino's new trial organization. These uniforms were a splendid idea. Once our organization has made a name for itself, there shall be a wealth, plenty, and selling replica costumes to adoring the masses. Okay, let's see if there's any in this sort of area. Yep, here's one. So I thought it best to mimic my fellows here, and I admit I have no idea what we're supposed to be doing. So, our new uniforms. I am reminded of my induction into the Wood Whalers. So 2 down, 6 to go. Gotta remember how Revenant's Toll looked when the game first launched. This scarlet garb marks me as a proud member of the Maelstrom and a hearty defender of Limsa Lominsa, yet in truth I stand for the betterment of the realm, and though this new company is a fine opportunity to contribute on a grander scale. Let's hand it over. So, now that's a striking shade of blue. Put alongside my Maelstrom uniform, my wardrobe will certainly not lack for colour. Okay, 5 to go. Where are they? There's one. So, I don't believe we've met. I am Ilberd, and I will have the honour of leading my fellow recruits as captain. Much did I lose to the calamity, and I look forward to aiding others in rebuilding their lives. So the uniforms are a shrewd decision. There is no easier method of creating a common bond among what is essentially a band of strangers. Okay, 4 to go. So little Amigo could learn much from Revenant's Toll, that this town can now be so alive in the midst of such desolation. I've never worn or quite so voluminous or voluminous. Well, I'm sure I'll grow accustomed to the extra cloth in time. Okay, there's one up here. So, hello there lass, looking for me are you? I'd suggest giving a whistle, but I'm not sure I'd hear it amongst all the bustle. So, proper uniforms and all. This thing'll cut the blood off me head. Not to worry though, I'm sure she'll be fine after making a few adjustments. Okay, here's another one. So, Isildard has at last retired from the adventurer's life. Though I shall miss his wisdom and irrepressible spirit, I am excited to forge my own path forwards. Yes, a uniform, thank you. Truth be told, the thought of pledging myself to such a lofty organisation is somewhat intimidating. Okay, let's see where number 8 is. Maybe behind these tents or something. Yeah, there they are. So, Mithrie Menefil, gods, I did not expect to meet you strolling about town. The tales of your primal battles were what inspired me to come to Revenant's Toll. Okay. So it is an honor to receive the uniform from your hands. I shall wear it with pride. Okay, that's that done. So now I need to return to Alpha Node. So, yes, Mithrie, as Tataru mentioned, you were handing out the new uniforms. I assume you've now met the rest of the recruits? Some few answered the call to arms I put through the established grand companies and such. We are not yet an army, but there is much a small corps of elite warriors can achieve. Did I mention I'd thought of a name for the company? 'Tis my hope that it shall soon be known across the breadth of Eorzea. The moment the truth draws near, Mithrie, once the last of the recruits have gathered, I shall make the official announcement.
Comrades, your presence here this day signifies the momentous choice that each of you has made. With your strength now pledged to the scions of the Seventh Dawn, you are beholden to no single nation. You stand as the vanguard for a united Eorzea. From this moment forth, I declare you Crystal Braves. Let us mend this fractured realm and face our enemies as one. Whether it be the Beastmen and their primals, or the conflict in Carteneau, it is plain that the nations of Eorzea cannot solve the problems which plague the realm. Thus does it fall to some few heroic souls to succeed where they have failed. Come, take your place at the Scion's side as guardians of Eorzea, and together we shall fight for the freedom of all! For the freedom of all!
So they have their own salute and everything.
A rousing speech, Alphino. Or should I say, Crystal Brave Commander Leveilleur?
Please, Antecedent. The title is honorary. I shall not be leading the troops into battle, as it were. We are of the same purpose. Let us join hands and do what must be done to save this land.
The Scions stand ready. I'm eager to see what the Crystal Braves might accomplish. This shall prove an interesting time indeed for the Scions. Yes, I'm listening. So our worst fears are confirmed. The entire Isle. Such power defies comprehension. Truly? Kryl is alive? Thank the 12. I see. Pray, inform me if her condition changes. Yes, I shall pass on your words to Eorzea. My thanks. I shall contact you anon. When I learned of the loss of the Isle of Val, I dared not hope that my friend had survived. Yet, by some miracle, it would seem she has. She's still to regain consciousness, it is true, but better that than death. Putting this happy news to one side, we must now endeavor to make sense of the readings taken by the survey party. It appears the etheric disturbance which accompanied the Isle's destruction is of a magnitude alarmingly close to that of Ultima. Could the Ascians be responsible for this devastation as well? I wonder, have you heard aught from the Mother Crystal since the battle with the Garleans? Then she speaks to neither one of us. Heidelind's silence portends naught but ill, I fear. Louisoix, I pray you yet watch over us.
Okay, very good. See that the provisions are prepared for transport. Let us hope that the shipment is spared the fate of the last. The winds are uncommon fierce this day. Uh-oh. To protect that which is dear, to destroy which installs fear, warring instincts will collide upon a frozen field. May the light ward thee against the bitter chill. So that's it. So that's the end of patch 2.3, yet another cliffhanger. So as you can see that the leader of Ishgard is under the control of the Ascians, and who knows what damage he will do as a result, but I guess we have to wait for patch 2.4 to find out. So anyway, that's it. That's the end of the patch 2.3 story mode. Thank you for watching, and as always, goodbye from me and goodbye from Mithrie.